Hello everyone, it's Colin and I'm back at it again. This time we're into week 5 talking about users and audience. So I just want to go over a little overview of what it's going to be about. So pretty much from my understanding, the chapter here is actually a little more interesting than some of the other chapters that we read because you get to see more in depth of what Google Analytics is capable of, like this geographic feature. It allows you to kind of look at your report, your analytics, and whatnot that you've gathered throughout uh, days, weeks, or months, years. And this allows you to actually see where people are located. This is right here, darker green areas show you the locations where more people are located, which is kind of interesting because you get to see um, where these people are from and where they're accessing your website or whatever you're using Google Analytics for. Aside from that, there's a bunch of like other great features that is being evolved, like behavior right here. Um, this provides you more information of how often people will be accessing your website, and this is, I think, part of one of the very key things because you want to know how many people are continuing to access your website because this will help you get a sense of clarity of how many times people will be coming back maybe or how popular your website is, and if you're at low numbers you can think of new ways and innovative ideas to get people to come to your website. And this is really nice too because it also allows you to check out new versus returning report. um, it allows you to compare your new and returning users who keep coming back to your website. So that's a good thing to look at because if certain people keep coming back, you can try something new or offer them something, maybe like weekly mail letter to continually keep them having coming back to your website. Moving on into a little more of these features, right here you have a technology report, which really helps you kind of get sorry about that, get technical details about the people who are accessing your website. So there's this thing called the browser and OS report. This is pretty much a list of the different browsers people um, who use to access your website. Like, are they using Chrome, Safari, Firefox? This also helps allow you to see if they're accessing from their desktops, a laptop, or a mobile device, which is really nice to see. Aside from all this, all these different types of features, I think there was a section in here. I'm sorry about this. Yeah, right here. So you get a little more kind of unique customization. So like right here, custom reports. If you want to look for historical stuff, you can have custom variables and like as mentioned here, user-defined values, which is really nice if you're trying to get very specific. And then this one I think is probably one of the most interesting part is the benchmarking because the benchmarking report actually allows you to compare your performer websites against different other websites, and you can pick what website you want it to compare, but the more you pick or more specific you are, the less websites out there that will be there for you to compare. In order to do so, you would have to go into your settings and I think click an option to share your website's data. Of course, this is all going to be anonymous, so they wouldn't know who you are. And you can do this to just help yourself and compare your data with other people's data. Um, the other thing that we read about is this short article, differences between users, sessions, and page views. I think this is a very good overall summarization of trying to understand analytics itself, like because it really gives you a short, simple answer. So you visit someone's homepage and you go to their contact page and whatnot. That counts as one session, one user, and you view the page 3 times, so 3 page views. Um, And then goes on about talking about just how if you were to visit again, it'll count as a second session. However, if you don't delete your history and cookies before then, you are still considered that single user, but it will continue to count as a session. And how many times you look at other different pages, it'll count that. But as long as you still have this previous website in your history browser and cookies, you're still going to be counted as that same user because it's going to know it's you. It is just a very short, nice article about that. I think it's a good read. Bringing in some like kind of real life examples is I kind of want to look at, or I went and looked at top 10 companies that actually use Google Analytics for their companies, and it's not surprising to see something like NASA who would be using it because they're a space company, and I think they really heavily rely on analytics, and that's kind of cool because they use it to watch like their percentage of traffic that's being viewed on mobile devices, or like when they do live streamings too. They always seem to do that on a big event, and that helps them kind of bring in the crowd to see if people are still interested in them. Um, Obviously, Twitter is one of the bigger ones. This is a huge social media platform. You got like big groups like Samsung, and even if you saw ahead, General Electric is one of them too. So these are just some of the top 10 companies that use Google Analytics, and I'm sorry about that. And you can tell that they're probably using different, like with NASA, they're definitely using geographic feature to see where people are watching their live streams from. And Samsung, most likely they're also using geographic, most likely as well benchmarking and custom because they're a pretty big phone company out there. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. You guys have any questions, comments, please comment below. I would like to hear your thoughts on this week's reading as well. Thank you for listening to me. See you next time.